Have you ever felt constantly sad, angry, just kind of blah, and all that? Well, let me tell you something. Everybody likes to say, stay positive. And that's such a cliche. That is such. However, it is actually good advice. And let me tell you why. Well, that's part of the good advice I'm about to tell y'all. You don't want to, you don't want to keep yourself in a negative mindset because it is going to ruin your life. It really is. And you're gonna feel, your body will feel it, and your mind will feel it. Every day you wake up, you're like pretty much a zombie, like, ugh, like you don't, and it's like you don't want to get up. Nuh-uh. It's about time you wake up happy. Another thing is, you need to have Christ. Um, so part of my testimony, um, I've told I've told it so many times. I know what it's like to go through very, very difficult things, and I know what it's like to have that internal spiritual battle going on, and it still happens. As long as I am living on this earth, that battle is going to continue on. That is just the reality of it. But, I got Christ on my side. As a Christian, I know that I'm going to face challenges. I am going to probably get, like, be judged because of my relationship with Christ. Because people don't love God. Not a lot of people love Jesus. Let's just say Jesus. Nobody has a problem with God. Well, at least most people don't seem to have a problem with God. Like, when you mention God, it's fine. The second you mention the name of Jesus, all of a sudden, people freak out, and they're like, rah, 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 rah. Don't mention Jesus into this, like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. No, not happening. I don't have any water in here. Oh, that sucks. I've found that, becoming a Christian really helps things. You're still gonna go through tests, trials, whatever. However, God doesn't put you through situations you can't, that are, like, impossible to get through. There's gonna be times when, grief happens, or you're going through some kind of struggle or sorrow. I know. I lost my biological dad whenever I was 2. due to addiction, and 2 years old. He wanted to. I'm not gonna really get into what he wanted to. I mean, he wanted to change himself, but it was too much on his body, and so his body decided to. Yep. Anyway, he wanted to change, but his body said no. So my whole life, it's difficult. Now, do I know why, like, the reasons why God puts us through tests and trials still to this day? Well, I can give you my opinion. 1, because we need to exercise our faith. 2, so that we can learn things from the tests and trials we go through. And 3, and most importantly, I think, is to know what good and evil are. And 4, to live the right way. 4, yeah. Okay. So, a lot of people criticize God, saying that he allows, things like cancer and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna be honest, God never wanted those things. However, Satan happened. A lot of people, or at least some people, don't like that answer. They don't like that Satan is blamed for it all. Well, I mean, what else do you want me to tell you? I'm not lying. Anyway, so back to what my point is. Sometimes it's okay to be negative. That's right. Sometimes it's okay to be a little negative. In order to be strong, you have to just kind of figure out your emotions and let yourself be weak. Just for a few moments. Sometimes there are situations where it requires you to just take your own time of healing and stuff. That doesn't mean that you gotta take your anger, frustration, whatever, out on other people. Guess what? I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of that for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Ooh boy. There are a bunch of people in my life that I think of when I say that. Bless their hearts, they had to put up with me. One person in particular still has to put up with me. Well, he doesn't really have to. I don't know about him. I'm confused about him, because it's like, I'm not really getting... He's confusing me. Anyway. Or maybe I'm confusing myself. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, it's MRI PET CT source. And this isn't to talk negatively about him. For me, when it comes to really good people, I tend to doubt their intentions, and that's my fault. It's another problem. When you go through so much, you don't know what people's true intentions are. They could say one thing about you to your face, But then in the back of their mind, they probably think horrible thoughts about you. So their words have no meaning. Well, how can you tell this? How can you tell if they really think of you as good or not good? Like, they think badly of you by their actions. You can just tell by their actions. So, just to use him as an example again, I truly don't know what MRI PET CT source thinks of me. I don't. I won't know what he truly thinks of me. As much as I want to, unless, like, somehow, by some miracle, I get him to talk to me again. Poor guy. I know he's busy, but, like, I just get aggravated. I just want him to say something. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. I know it's not his fault. He's doing important things. He's doing very, very much so positive things. And God bless him for that. MRI PET CT source, if you watch this video, before I get to my point, God bless you, and thank you for everything that you do for the community. You're doing really good things, and I just wish I was doing good things. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I definitely would love to know what MRI PET CT source truly thinks of me, what his true thoughts are. Now, because I make mistakes and I'm a human, there's definitely probably some negative stuff he thinks of when it comes to me. Like, he's gonna have some choice words. But that's, like, literally everybody, with everybody. We're humans. We're not perfect. There is no perfect human currently that is living on this earth. Only Jesus is perfect. And we need to remember that. And we need to be, if our intentions are right, and if we are wanting to be Christ-like, we need to be Christ-like, you know? We need to have the characteristics of Jesus. We need to love one another. We need to be slow to anger, patient to people, understand people, just kind of, you know, love. That does not mean you need to be like, when it comes to, see, when I say that, my thoughts go to the LGBTQ community. Yes, love them. Absolutely love them. That doesn't mean you have to agree with their lifestyle. You know, this is my favorite story that I was told about my uncle. A long time ago, he worked with this lady who was lesbian, and nobody would want to sit with her during lunch break and stuff, which was really sad. So my uncle, he was like, he wanted to sit with her and stuff like that, just to, you know, be nice, be a Christian, you know, So they would talk, and I think he really blessed her in that way. He was nice to her, she was nice to him. They're human too. They're human too. So definitely love those who have different point of views. Even in political stuff, you gotta love everybody. You have to. You have to. Because God said so. And it's all part of being positive to everybody around you. You know? You got. Sometimes, there are some people who just need some light. Because they could be going through a lot of darkness. And let me tell you, I've been there. I have been there, and it is horrible. Currently, I am trying to better myself. It is a battle for sure. I will say this though, I feel a lot better than I did in the past. In the past, well, I can't get into it, that would be, oh gosh. But I think I've grown. I think. I'll let somebody be the judge of that. Whoever's been a long time fan of mine. I don't know. So yes, it is very important to be positive and stay positive. Because you could be a source of light for other people. And my purpose in this world, I feel, is to be a healer of some sort. I think it is definitely to be a source of light for a lot of people. And I think that the more I understand this role, the more I feel like I fit in this role, the more I will embrace it. And let me tell you, working on yourself constantly is a battle. But you gotta do it. You have to. You have to do it. It's just something that has to be done. But you can do it. You got this. You're not alone in this struggle. If you need help, talk to Jesus. You can just pray to him. No need to say any fancy words or whatever. Just pray to him. Anyways, God bless y'all. Peace. Yeah. Anyways, bye.